We're looking at polar representation of a complex number. So what is it? It's another way of representing a complex number. So how else can we represent? Using the magnitude and angle. Okay, so that's your answer. So I'll make an example or show an example, simulate an example for you guys. So we're going to represent 3 minus 4i. Instead of j, you think of it to be an I. So that's a complex number. How else can I represent it? Let me show that with this. 3 minus 4i has a magnitude of 5. Right? 3 square plus 4 square, root of that is square root of 25, which is 5. So we can see over here, these are concentric circles, and the large circle has a radius of 5. And this point has a radius of 5 from the center. Obviously, right? And it has an angle of, it's over here, you can see it's around 306. So how is that we are representing? Yes, we are representing using length and angle. So we know that how angle can play talking about the coordinates. So this is a coordinate wherein you have the y component to be negative and the x component to be positive. And that's what we are looking at, right? So with the knowledge that is derived from your trigonometric aspect, right? The graphical and so on and so forth, you know how sine, cos and tan behaves and all of that. So with that knowledge, this will make sense. Okay. So basically, we're going to make use of the idea of a radius and the idea of a circle, right? The length representing from the center, it represents the radius and all of that. And the angle represents the positive and the negative. Is it not? So basically, we're going to represent complex number in the form of an angle and the radius, a length and an angle. So how do you find r and theta? I just mentioned now, r is nothing but your magnitude of the complex number is nothing but square root of a square plus b square. While theta, well, it depends on the coordinates. Basically, it is not in a straightforward manner, but tan inverse of y by x. Actually, I don't want to write this because this is not the right way. We have to look at the coordinates, we have to look at the expressions and all of that. So basically using trigonometry. So using trigonometric understanding of the trigonometric topic will help us find the theta value. There are a few things that we need to add on to our names and so on and so forth. So r is called as magnitude. That is kind of okay. While theta is your argument or the angle of z. So this is one more terminology that we need to add on. There's another terminology also. R comma theta is the polar coordinate of the point P. So polar coordinates. Okay. So for the example which we discussed with our coding, so the polar coordinates would be what? R, the length is 5 and the angle was 306 approximately. So that's your polar coordinates of the point P. And P represents the complex number 3 minus 4i. Does it make sense now? Okay, there are a few more things. How do you write the final answer though? So all of that was easy. ठीक है, मतलब how do you express say a plus ib in a polar form? So to do that, it's quite simple actually. It's r times of cos theta plus I into r times of sin theta. So this is clearly, where is it derived from? Yes, trigonometry, is it not? So we have, say, theta over here, and that's r. So this will be r of sin theta, and this is r of cos theta. So this is nothing but your, yes, a, and that's nothing but your b. So that's what I've written over here. Okay, and finally there's a last point. Expressing theta between the set of angles is known as principal argument. Right? We have seen this same funda, principal value. If you guys remember, turn back your pages and have a look. Look at your formula list, concept map. Okay, so similar funda is over there. So expressing in terms of minus pi to pi between these values, not terms of, between that value. The value is called as principal argument. Okay, summarizing all of this, I have this slide. So you can pause and kind of write everything over here along with this. Okay, so a rough diagram and explaining this diagram will help you understand all of this.